Read to me, Daddy. Thank you, Shrek. Shrek the Halls.
Shrek the Halls. One fine summer day, Shrek was soaking up the sun and watching his babies play in the mud. Everything was perfect until Donkey showed up. 159 days left till Christmas, Donkey sang out. So you better be good. Shrek glared at him. You'd better be scarce, he said. I don't care about Christmas. 157 days later, Donkey was still pestering Shrek about Christmas. He was horrified to learn that Shrek wasn't prepared. You mean you haven't trimmed your stockings, hung your chestnuts, or roasted the tree? Get it through your thick head, Shrek said. No one here gives a hoot about. Just then, Fiona wandered by holding the babies. Your first snow, she cooed happily, and just in time for Christmas. Shrek was surprised to see her so excited. Shrek didn't know the first thing about Christmas, but if it was important to Fiona, it was important to him too. That night, he sneaked off to the village bookstore. Luckily, the store had just the book he needed. It showed everything Shrek needed for a perfect Christmas. He just hoped he could pull it off. Shrek got up early the next morning to decorate the swamp. He didn't have most of the stuff shown in the book, so he had to get creative. It's beautiful, Fiona said when she saw Shrek's decorations. It's horrible, Donkey had just arrived on the scene. Don't worry, Princess, he told Fiona. Shrek is going to want my help. Actually, Fiona said, Shrek really wants a nice family Christmas. The family set out to gather more decorations. This is going to be the best Christmas ever, Fiona said cheerfully, and we're going to do it together. Come on. They set off into the woods, pulling the babies on a sled. It turned out Fiona could get creative too. She showed Shrek how to belch on snakes and make them look like candy canes. The babies even helped by blowing up lizard balloons. Soon they found plenty of decorations. Finally, the house looked almost like the pictures in Shrek's book. It's perfect, Shrek said with relief as he and his family relaxed in front of the fire. And now it's story time. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house the door burst open. Merry Christmas, Shrek! Donkey cried. He rushed in, followed by all the fairy tale friends. Happy holidays, Pinocchio cried, doing a Christmas jig. Nice to see you, Fiona, one of the three little pigs added. Greetings filled the house as more and more friends swarmed in. What a nice surprise, Fiona exclaimed. Oh yeah, Shrek grumbled. He couldn't believe it. His perfect family Christmas had just turned into a crazy, crowded party. Shrek tried to sneak away to tell his babies their Christmas story, but Donkey overheard. Are you telling the night before Christmas? He cried. I'll tell it better than anybody. Gather round, everybody. He recited a wild version about a big Christmas parade and a 50-foot Santa made of waffles. Then Gingy interrupted, looking upset. Where I come from, Christmas is a nightmare, he cried. He told a scary story about a giant, hungry Santa. Finally, Shrek had had enough. This was not how he'd planned his perfect family Christmas. Out, he yelled. I want everybody out of my house right now. Donkey was thrown out the window and landed with a splat. The rest of the fairy tale friends hurried out behind him. Nice way to treat your guests on Christmas, Ebenezer, Shrek, Donkey huffed. If you think I'm going to give you a present now, you're sadly mistaken. Finally, Shrek was happy, but Fiona wasn't. She rushed out the door to apologize to their friends. But I wanted a perfect family Christmas, Shrek said. That was our family, Fiona exclaimed as she stomped off with the babies. Shrek thought about it and realized she was right. Besides, maybe perfect was overrated. He caught up with Fiona and their friends and apologized. It would mean a lot to me if you'd all come back, he said. What do you say? Soon, the Christmas party was back in full swing. This time, Shrek even got to tell his own version of the night before Christmas. And it was perfect. The night before Christmas, Shrek style. Was the night before Christmas, and not a swamp rat did creep, as Mother and Babe played kazoo in their sleep. Now the sight of the house would make any ogre droop, for 'twas sickeningly sweet as unicorn poop. Yet who was arriving to help this lost cause? The foul, the vile, and handsome, Ogre Claus. He looked all around and scratched at his beard and said, This place is worse than I feared. So he revved up his belly and screwed up his face and let loose a belch and transformed the place. With a gleam in his eye, his work here was done, and then to the babies he gave, one by one, a festering bottle of stinky swamp juice, and for Mommy a kiss and a good Christmas goose. Then digging a finger inside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney he rose, as I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Smelly Christmas to all, and to all a gross night." The end.